And former President Bill Clinton calls Obamacare a crazy plan. But Hillary Clinton and Tim Kaine want to build on Obamacare. They want to expand it into a single-payer program. And for all the world, Hillary Clinton just thinks Obamacare is a good start.
Well, that was Governor Mike Pence going after Senator Tim Kaine over Obamacare during last night's debate. This, as lawmakers in California make moves to provide Obamacare to illegal immigrants. Let's bring in former Arizona Governor Jan Brewer. I guess we don't have to call it crazy. We'll call it loco now, Governor Brewer. Almost 400,000 illegal immigrants will have access to Obamacare pretty soon in California. What do you make of this?
That is absolutely outrageous. I cannot believe that they're going to do that. I would think that it would have to go to the vote of the people, or at least through the legislature. And knowing their legislature, they'll probably vote for it anyway. But it's just totally, totally outrageous. What are we going to do? Just give health insurance to everybody every time and just invite the whole world to come over? It's just unbelievable. Here in Arizona, Charles, you know, we had to pay millions of dollars just for health care for illegals at our emergency rooms and our health clinics, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
And you simply cannot afford to do that. You can't afford to do it. And certainly they're going to come if they think they need a necessary surgery or something.
Sure. I mean,
it's like an open invitation.
California is riddled with sanctuary cities, and there's a big argument that the federal government should do all it can to roll up that red carpet, but this actually makes it longer and puts up bright lights. But I do want to also remind the audience that it was 2009 when President Obama was selling Obamacare that they had a joint session of Congress, and he made the promise that illegals would never have access to this. Of course, that's when we had the infamous "you lie" called out by Joe Wilson, then a Republican from South Carolina. But it turns out Wilson probably was right.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's just, you know, one example again of people not speaking the truth to the public, knowing full good and well what their intentions are. He has done that over and over again, and electing Hillary Clinton is just nothing but an extension of that administration. And we want a truth teller and somebody that's going to speak to us honestly so that we know just exactly what direction our country is going to go. And it's out of control. It's just totally, totally out of control. Hopefully President Trump will go in there and revamp health care in the United States of America. There's other solutions.
Governor Brewer, let me ask you, last night deportation came up a couple of times, and the deportation force came up. Now, there were times in the past when Donald Trump talked about that. I think he's moderated his position on it, but this is a very contentious point in this election. The Hispanic vote, even though this is not the single most important issue for that community, it does rank high. How do you see this being handled? If Donald Trump is sworn in, how do we handle exporting illegals who have to get out of this country?
Well, let me say this, Charles. I know it's going to be very difficult, but the point is that they're here illegally. They need to go home, and they need to come back some way legally to be here in the United States. I think that it's going to be very, very difficult, but knowing a new administration and looking at it in a different vein, there's a possibility. Certainly we can round up all the criminals, people that are breaking the law, people that are being released from our prisons, closing down sanctuary cities, you know, and people reporting them. I mean, you know, 1070, the provision about if you're involved in under reasonable suspicion, an officer can still ask you for your identification. And with that identification being shown, I would think that they would immediately deport them if they're not legally.
And to your point, also, you know, maybe businesses also who employ them for profit, but you know, hurt all Americans, including themselves in the process. Governor Brewer, thank you very much as usual. Really appreciate it.